Hi everybody, how's it going? We're here with a timeless reading. Welcome. The first card that we have is Strength and Nine of Wands. Yes, Nine of Wands. Strength and Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands shows you being challenged, and it can be a time where even if it's for a split second, sometimes we can feel like, is this gonna work? Am I gonna be able to do this? Are my efforts gonna pay off? Should I give up? Is this too difficult? Am I gonna be able to push through? Having strength there is sort of this encouragement. I see strength, especially in this type of setting, as being an encouragement from your guides of, if you are willing to do this, it is going to work out. It may not be easy, but it is possible, very possible. So the part of you that can be feeling fatigued right now, the part of you that can be maybe questioning things right now or wondering, just am I going to get to the top of the hill here? Having strength there is an encouragement for you to keep going. That it is possible. If you are willing. I kind of get the feeling that this is for a better life, something like that. I don't know why it's coming across in that grand type of way, but I get this feeling of you're making this choice, making choices that are making a difference for you, and it feels like it's about how you're curating things within your life. Having Eight of Cups here indicates that there's stuff that you can look at and feel like this is no longer for me anymore, this is no longer aligned anymore, and if I'm really honoring my path here, I know that I need to keep moving. I know not to stay here, I know better. But there can be challenges to do that, because it can feel sometimes like all the forces, especially having these fixed signs here with Leo and Aquarius, we can feel like our mind can be a one-track mind sometimes. We can feel like we like to put our efforts into the same thing over and over again with these two energies here, kind of like my mind is here and my energy is here, and this is what I focus on and this is what I do, and having to switch lanes right now because you know it's time to switch lanes because you feel like a disconnection from that lane, and so you want to go into the lane that you feel connected to, and that being the driving force. However, it can feel challenging to do so. Because in some ways it can feel almost like our attachments support staying the same, the routine, the habit, the pattern. And then what's going on internally for you is telling a different story. That this isn't the right fit anymore. That there is stuff that can fit better and moving that way. This also kind of feels like chasing a dream to me, in a way where you're going after what you want. It feels like ambition. And so Eight of Cups is going to be that recognition. These cups are empty. There's no more fuel I'm going to get from that. So get to stepping. And then when you have the star there, this is that thing that you are going towards, like following the North Star, following where you're being called, where you're being guided, that thing that's going to feel electrifying when you connect to it, that this may have been feeling like that for you. It used to feel like that for you, and it doesn't anymore. And that's your indication, that's your cue to move towards the next thing. So you making this transition, having it be the star connected with the Ten of Cups, this is about you reaching new heights here, and that you will feel very happy with this, and that it will be the answer, that which you seek. when you hear the call of this, of the Eight of Cups, the Ten of Cups is going to be the answer to that. So that's the exact direction that you're going in here. You felt that, and now you're moving. There's future planning that's part of this too. Planning for now, planning for future. These feel like brave plans that are being made, maybe courageous plans that are being made. Maybe really putting yourself out there with this. Making progress in this position, it has not been easy is what I'm seeing. You're definitely going to get to where you have your sights set on, but I'm seeing a lot of things that have been challenging. You can feel like it takes a lot of effort to go a little distance, while not being totally discouraged and giving up or losing sight of this completely. Okay. When we have Eight of Cups and we have Five of Wands connected to it, there can be this feeling of, I know that I'm not happy here. I know that this isn't really sparking joy for me. Simultaneously, it can be difficult to make that transition because it can be easier sometimes, at least we tell ourselves, making a choice to stick with what's familiar, even though we know that we're not really connected to it anymore, and shy away from the unknown. And it feels like that notion is coming up here, that that is something that's being worked out. So things can feel like a better fit for you, but that can definitely be a theme here. There can be a little bit of a struggle in order for you to move forward. Why would this be? I'm going to clarify this Five of Wands. I'm seeing this story here with Ace of Cups, Three of Cups, Six of Swords, Two of Cups. Having Ace of Cups is a new chapter. Having Three of Cups feels like it's kind of giving off the energy that you can very much be looking for when you're feeling Eight of Cups. Ace of Cups is about doing something that feels fun, doing something that you feel connected with, doing something that's resonating with you, or like moving that way, connecting with those things that feel bright. That feel too like you can sort of develop, because an ace is that beginning. having Three of Cups. I wonder if there's something going on where this can be potentially reconciling with someone, but this can also mean for some of you that there's something about like a new group that you're going to be connecting with. With Ace of Cups and Three of Cups, it sure can be you reconciling with someone. What this can also mean is that there can be a new social chapter for you where you can be making new friends or doing something of the sort. Doing something of the sort. So having Six of Swords feels like there being an ability to move forward, and Two of Cups is going to be about feeling like you're doing something from a place where it's about making a decision and being whole when that is happening, rather than leaving part of yourself behind to do something here. And that, it looks like that's the conflict that's being worked out. Like if you want this sense of connection that feels like it wasn't really there before, I'm wondering too if there was a bit of a dryness socially in some way. But even though Three of Cups can be with one person, but I feel like this is more so about having a new chapter for you where you feel like you're doing this on behalf of yourself, which has been a theme that's been coming up a lot lately. It has been a theme that's been coming up a lot lately. And so if you feel like you're at a point now where you feel like you're doing something but not all of you is totally there, or you have an option to bring something together here within yourself, it feels like that part of you that you're going to meet if you go in this direction. So Ace of Cups will be something that when you get there and you connect with it, it feels so happy and it feels so joyful and it feels like something is plugged back in again. And then having Three of Cups feels like that part of you that's been looking to connect finally gets to connect here. Six of Swords feels like an understanding of this, that how you'd been feeling, why you'd been feeling how you'd been feeling before, how this really was the answer for you. And then having Two of Cups feels like rather than feeling at odds with yourself or like you're not totally on the same page, you are then totally on the same page because you listened to that part of yourself that was guiding you in this direction by telling you with the Eight of Cups, this situation isn't working for me, but something can. This isn't resonating with me, but there is potential for something to resonate with me. I'm not feeling connected here. However, there is potential to feel connected. It can be a little bit challenging though, because there is a moving in the direction of the unknown and we don't necessarily know what's going to happen. And that can sometimes feel a little bit scary. It can feel like lots of different things. It can feel exciting too. It's like about time that you pay attention to what's been going on the inside. And it can be a time where that really comes to light. I'm seeing conflict that you're moving through. This is feeling like something was supposed to be working together, and rather than doing that, it became divisive. We do have Wheel of Fortune here, coming after Five of Wands. This feels like that peace that was needed in order to move through this, that now is here. Strength, starting with Strength, end with Ace of Wands, shows that there is opportunity at your doorstep, and it may be difficult for some reason, challenging for some reason, maybe for many reasons to go that way. However, that's where you can feel like I'm being pulled. If I'm really listening to my heart here, if I'm really listening to my inspiration here, this is really the way to go. And I feel like I'm making choices that are reflective of my pursuit of happiness here rather than my fear, rather than just staying within what's comfortable, but I don't feel connected with this. Familiar but not fitting versus stepping into the unknown where so many things are possible. But what you know for sure, if you stay within that Eight of Cups, is that there's going to be dissatisfaction. And that's for sure. And you know that by now too. And when you see the big picture, I think it makes it a little bit easier to sort of keep going with this. Something even about the expanding and the seeking and the movement of that, and even the truth for you. It feels like it's challenging to even get to that point. Like, it may be challenging for you to actually move in the direction of change. That can be part of what feels so difficult, because change and expansion are sort of what your soul is asking you for here. However, your ego can be wanting something else from you. There is also something that I'm seeing here about, this is just one step in a direction where you feel like your dream life is going to unfold. And as much as that sounds kind of dramatic, saying your dream life, it's really true with Three of Wands and the Star. This is you walking a path that you feel that that's where you're supposed to be within your life, rather than being within something that you could feel miserable within, or you could feel like really doesn't meet your internal standards any longer, that your emotional needs any longer, or you just don't feel connected to it. It's sort of run dry. And having to face whatever you would have to face in order to work that situation out, in order to move to where you feel you're being called here. And what motivates the choices that you're making? Because I do even get the sense that you're actually at a crossroads here. And there is a new path that you can take, and it would be something that you'd feel happy with. We have 10 of Cups above that new path, and we also have 9 of Cups on the bottom of the deck following that new path. And it does feel like this opportunity is the one that you want, and feels too like it's the opposite from what you're in right now, or where you just had been, and working through that. There can be stuff that's still being realized. I do want to understand this more with this Eight of Cups and Five of Wands. It can just be stuff that hasn't totally been worked out yet at this point. But why is that? What is the block here with this energy? There can be stuff about your values that you haven't totally become aware of yet. When it comes to overall how you want things to be, how you even need things to be to feel good with them. There can be stuff that you're still telling yourself, I'm good with this, I'm good with this, I'm good with this, and you're actually not. And it can even be a reflection of like a lack of self-esteem or self-worth, even, that you're just telling yourself this is what you deserve, but you know that it's actually not aligned. It feels like it's caught up in this equation that still hasn't totally been worked out yet, where you can be trying to tell yourself that it's fair, that it's balanced, and it may actually not be. but there's still that trying to convince yourself. That can also be a lack of acceptance too. You want something to work, and so you may not be admitting that it actually isn't. Maybe too, there's this feeling of, you know, actually how I'm seeing this be now, and I wasn't seeing this before. Maybe within this, what this means is that you know certain things aren't working, but now there's a possibility of actually working together to allow things to be more balanced and for things to be actually how you would need them to be, for them to be sustainable, and for you to feel like rather than just surviving, you're actually getting what you need and you have the ability to thrive. Because I'm seeing something about that being worked out with Six of Pentacles and Three of Pentacles. And so this is sort of working out the exchange that happens. And maybe that's, if that is worked on, maybe it is possible for things to be the way that you want. But if it's not worked on, then you're going to stay feeling like this. And that may be why we are sort of where we are with this. Is something actually workable though, or is it not workable? Realistically, maybe this chapter is going to be finding that out. Some of you, what I'm seeing, and this isn't going to be something that's relatable now, but it will happen later down the line. I'm seeing what's going to end up happening, but it feels almost weird to be saying this now because you have no proof of this, but you'll see that this is what ends up happening. What I'm seeing is going to unfold is that you may not be ready to walk away completely just because stuff is still being worked out. What's going to happen is that things are going to proceed, and what I'm seeing is that later down the line, not now, but later down the line, you're going to get to a point and still feel the same way, and that will be when the change happens, and that will be the moment when you feel like, I'm going to move in the direction of my 10 of Cups. That will be when the change happens, and that will be when things feel like they click into place, but I'm seeing you not be at that point yet. It feels like not ready for this yet, not ready to do this yet, but I'm seeing that that's what's going to end up coming up. What I find interesting about this is that I don't know what situation this applies to because there aren't any specifics about it. About what area of your life this is within. So maybe that's going to be the factor for everybody here. A plan being carried out, it being quite a process, more things needing to be worked out, but then having the star there is, you end up right where you're meant to be. Not that you already are where you're meant to be. It will feel maybe a little bit more validating when you get up ahead within the timeline. And I am seeing a door be open when you get there. And it feels like a no-brainer to go through that then. This can be more stuff that happens when it comes to the exchanges that you're in. Meaning, I'm seeing potentially there being some towers actually that are upcoming within the energy, but it's just going to be shaking things into place. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.